Hey YouTube, it's PB. Thanks for tuning in to another Life of a Jobbing Plumber. Last week's video, I was in a bit of a rush to get out because I was so busy and it was so hot and editing takes me ages, and I felt that the video wasn't as good as my normal stuff. I didn't think there was enough variation of content. I just thought it was a bit boring. But funnily enough, the most messages I've had from people saying great video, best one yet, was for last week. So I don't know, go figure. Anyway, this week's video, I've got a few different jobs. What I'm trying to do is, the timelines aren't quite working out because this week I've had quite a lot of electrical fault finding jobs. So rather than show two of the similar sort of job in the same video, I'm splitting them, so that's going to be next week now. But the main thing about this video is, if you watch till the end, I've got a chance for one of you to win this. It's a Magnacleanse flushing unit from AD. I love mine. I bought a new one, gave my old one to my apprentice Matt, and then when I was at Installer Show recently, I won another one in a competition. So I've got another brand new one, and I thought rather than sell it on eBay or something, I'll give it away to one of you guys because they are a great bit of kit and I'd prefer to see one of you lot using it. So details at the end of how to win that, and hopefully you enjoy the video. Right, so my plan on this job was, it was a call out to no hot water, so I thought I'd come in and go through with you as I was looking at it. But the house is a bit tight for space, it's really strange. Just wanted to check out first. The airing cupboard's up in this sort of attic room and there's loads of stuff in the way, so I can't get up there, so I just thought I'd have a quick check. So basically, I've not done anything so far, but we can see the isolator's on, but there's no display on the programmer. So my first guess will be the fuse is gone, so I'll check that first. Luckily the pump and the zone valve is in this boiler cupboard. That, believe it or not, is the soil pipe from the toilet above. They've got an ensuite above. I don't know where that goes, but anyway, it's by the by. So we're going to try and work out why we've got no hot water. Now first thing I'm going to do is check this fuse. So what I will do normally is pop this fuse out. Okay, so that's the fuse. I promise you I'm going to get some kind of hands-free so I can use both my hands. Right, so all I'm going to do is check this fuse. So got continuity. Let's check it's working. Hear the beep, so we'll check this fuse that was in. Well, that's surprising. So the fuse is good. So let's pop that back in. Right, so the fuse is good. So right, okay, I'll show you this quickly. Fluke volt light. I've had this ages. My electrician had one and I thought that's cool and I bought it a long time ago. I think it was only 20 quid. Similar to a volt pen, but it's got a torch on it. So look here. So that cable's dead. We've got power. It turns red when there's power, and it sort of flashes when it thinks there might be power. Let's move that away. Right. It's got nothing on the cable. Let's turn it on. Right, so we've got power going through. So we know we've got power to the fuse spur, power going out the fuse spur. So we're now looking at this. So whip this off. That was not easy. Okay. So alive, they all look okay. The earths have come out. Neutrals aren't in properly. try and I'll remake these connections in because they're not in properly. We'll see if that's the issue, and then I'll start filming again. So the issue we've got here is they've got 4 neutrals into this one tiny little block. There's not enough room. You're only just about to get 2 in. And then look at this earth. I mean, there's hardly any cable there. It's all mashed together. We've got 4 of them to get in as well. So I'm just wondering if there's room down here for me to get a couple of Wagos in, and then I'll put 1 cable up to each and join them all in down here. So basically what happened was there was too many cables in these. They're good for 1 cable, 2 tops, and they're all just pulling out. So I've refitted these neutrals now. The live pulled straight out, so I don't even know if that was connected. But there's just too many cables in here, so just as a temporary fix, hopefully I can get this cover back on. I've put these Wago connectors in to split, you know, there was 4 neutrals in that one block. There just weren't room for it. So I think I've showed you before in a video, they're basically just connector blocks. They all link together, this whole block of 5 links together. And you just pull these out, push your cable in there, and that locks it in place. So I've got my earths banded in together there, my neutrals in together there. So now we'll put the programmer back on and see if that's helped things. If not, we'll test if we've got live and neutral. If we've got voltage here, then we need a new programmer. We'll try that first. Okay, so put the programmer back on. We can see there we've got display now, so we know it was definitely a wiring issue. So now I've just got to work out how to set this. But yeah, we could have been a lot of different things. I thought it would have been the fuse or maybe one of the component parts, but it just goes to show you that if a little bit of investigation, it was the wiring. So I'll program this now. Job done. Just quickly show you. So I've programmed set the times, and then we can just boost it. And you can't see there because of the flash, but boiler's fired up. Well, you can definitely hear the pump anyway. It's old systems, man. Sometimes people should just rip them out and start again. This is an old video clip I found on my phone. I might have put this on YouTube before, but in case I didn't, this is just a little bit of fault find on an alpha boiler. So the tenants rang up with no hot water. So when they're opening the tap, the water's not getting hot unless the central heating's on at the same time. So the first thing I would look at in this instance is any kind of flow switch, flow sensor, which on this boiler is this black fitting here with the blue and brown cable on it. Now, as I lift it up myself, the boiler then fires up and they get hot water. So the way this works is when you run the tap, on the diverter valve there's a diaphragm that pushes a pin and activates this switch. So if I pop it off and just show you, so that white button there, when that's pushed in, the water's off. When it's released, so it pops out, the boiler fires up and the water gets hot because there's something inside that diverter valve that's pushing on that little white button. They're all different. Some of them work on magnets, some of them have got little paddles in that work on the water flow. But that's the first thing to check on a combination boiler with no hot water. Check your flow sensor or flow switch. This wouldn't give you an error like this fault. This would just, you would open the tap and nothing would happen. You wouldn't actually get an error light. So yeah, just thought I'd share that with you.
Nipex pliers wrench, 250 handle versions, original version and the latest version. This is 20% less weight. It has the gauges which highlight your sizes that you need. It still works in the same principle of a parallel cam, so the jaws move up and down. When you go to the gland, it will sit square on. I can still use it with that function by dropping the handle for a ratchet. Still has no teeth, so it won't damage any aluminium or chrome, but will give you that 10 to 1 force when gripping onto something. It won't slip off. We also have a different version in a different finish with a comfort grip. Same functions, same benefits, parallel cam, and the final one in the family is the pliers wrench with the offset handles. So a tight spot, you can use it against the boiler, with the wall, when you're working on somewhere flat, also with the same parallel version.
Morning YouTube, it's PB. It's Monday morning, sun's out. I've been looking forward to this job today, so it's nice to go to work on a Monday when you've got a job you're looking forward to. So I've booked 2 days for this. Standard cylinder, tanks in the roof, off a boiler. They want an unvented cylinder putting in, so today I'll rip out the old tank and pipe work, and I'll sort of make a plan, get the new cylinder in, and then we'll start piping back. And then when that's done and it's all full up again, we're going to put a filter on the central heating system and give them a bit of a power flush. They've just moved in, they want better hot water performance, and they just want to know everything's fine. So it's basically a boiler service, power flush, and upgrade the water so they've got mains pressure hot water. It's nice big, it's in an airing cupboard, but it's a nice big cupboard. The boiler and the cylinder are both in there, so hopefully going to make it look really nice. And it's an old house, so it's quite cool in there, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So this is the current setup. Now this all works, this system works as it is, but they want better water pressure, increased water pressure, which they're not getting from this system because the tank that feeds this cylinder is directly above my head, so there's not enough head on it to give them any kind of decent flow rate. I think they're on about 8 litres per minute on the hot water. So we're going to adjust all these pipes, take this all out, and then update them with a nice unvented cylinder. Okay, so I need to drain this cylinder down. So I've turned the water off, got all the hot taps open, so we know we're drained down to this height here. But to drain this, we need to open the drain cock at the bottom, but of course there isn't one, and the pipe comes up as well. So I've got no way now of getting the water out of this. So what you'd normally do is disconnect this pipe, put hose in, feed your hose down to the bottom, and then on the other end of the hose, when you got it downstairs, just suck it enough to pull the water up over the top. Once it gets over the top, it will siphon out, and the danger is getting a gob full of water. So I'll just show you this. I only got this last week at the installer show. This is called a siphon sucker. I've fitted it onto my hose because I've got 2 hoses, so this one's already fitted on. The way this works, I'll show you. So let's move this. This is an anti-kink piece of plastic when it goes into the top, just so your hose doesn't kink. So basically, it's this fit in here. Pop that into the bottom of your tank or in through the top of here, down in the cylinder, and then you just pull on the hose a couple of times like that. And this sucks the water in to create the siphon. So it saves you putting your mouth on one end and sucking through it. You just dip it in, give it a couple of shakes like that, and it will start the siphoning off. So I'm going to use that this morning on this tank. Okay, so I've had to cut this out with my multi-tool to make an opening because the tapping on the top of the cylinder was a male thread. It wasn't one that you'd made in yourself. Now, when I saw this, they took the adapter out of the top of the cylinder, and that left enough room to dip it through. But on this one, there wasn't enough room. See there, it's got a male thread. So I just cut this hatch. So then what we do is gauge the length of the cylinder to get that to the bottom, and then we put that anti-kink on, and then just feed this down. Okay, so to my calculations, that's now at the bottom. So I'm going to take this end downstairs, and then I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so the hose is now on its way downstairs. So all you do is give it a couple of, and now we'll go and check it. So I don't know if you heard that, but that was the end of the siphonic action. So when there's no water left, this siphon sucker valve on the end resets itself. So should be, if we look in now, it's a bit steamy. Okay, so we've got all this copper pipework to take out. Cylinder's drained down, central heating's drained down, so basically we're going to cut all this back, because what I like to do is, not a blank canvas, but I like to start again. So you see I've cut this here, I'm going to come off that, same on this one. The gas I'll probably cut here and do my own thing. Now when you've got a lot of parts to cut out, that's where this thing's coming into its own. So you see this before in my video where I managed to cut through a water main. I'm not going to do that today, hopefully, touch wood, but I'm just going to show you quickly why I think this is so good. So you've got two settings at the bottom, this one here and this one here. This one here resets it, so you can see now I've got a pipe and it's not in the right position for me to get a piece of pipe in. We need it to be like that, so you put it to this side here and that resets it, and then you flick it back over. Now we're ready to cut. So for example, let's say we're going to cut the flow off the top of the cylinder. You see in the little window there, push that on like that. Okay, so that's gone on there. Once that's on, squeeze the trigger in. And then once you've cut through, tab it again to the reset side. That resets it and you can take it out. It does do a nice cut as well. So what it's not good for is when they're close together. Although these ones move, so for example, I don't know, let's look at these two on here. I couldn't get it in this one that's got up to the floor. Or ones that are close to the wall either, you won't be able to get under it. Not very good for that, but when you've got nice open pipe work and you're doing a lot of cuts, that's when this is useful. And one last thing I'll show you with it, so 22mm pipe. Get it on. I'll just show you. 22mm pipe. Reset it. 28mm pipe. Without having to change anything. So 15 to 28mm. When you're doing a lot of pipe work, it is pretty good. Not sure how much they are. I got mine on offer at Plumber Centre for 120 quid with a battery and a charger. But yeah, if you see one and you like the look of it, I'm really enjoying using it. Okay, so I'm getting there now with the cylinder. You can see there, but while I'm finishing off the pipe work, I want to be the system's having a Magnacleanse. Now you've seen them use these before, and it's an AD product, and I've used them with AD filters, but this system's already got a Spirotech filter on it. So what we can do is, this is all drained down by the way. I struggle to take this one. Take this off, and you can see we've got this here. Spirotech make an adapter, flushing adapter. So you can see there, these two aren't linked. You've got the internal one and then the external one. So actually flow and return. It uses this body, so we'll just screw that onto there. And then we can attach our Magnacleanse onto that. So the Magnacleanse is hooked up now to the Spirotech filter there. Now this is a new Magnacleanse. I bought myself a new one because my old one was a bit old and you couldn't see through the hoses, and one of the most satisfying things on a Magnacleanse is when you're running it is to watch your hose turn black and then the other one be clear when it's coming through the filter, so you know it's working. This has been on about 20 minutes now and they're still both clear. Now the customer here didn't have any issues with the radiators not working. They just bought the house and they wanted to service the boiler and prolong the life of the system, so that's why I'm doing a bit of a Magnacleanse on it. So hopefully the system will be fine because you can see how clear it is, but we'll check those magnets again in a minute. My old Magnacleanse, I didn't throw it away, I gave it to my apprentice Matt. He's using that now, so it lives on. It's just that yeah, it was getting on a bit, so I've got myself a new one. So I'll run this for a couple of hours while I'm doing other bits. See there, the cylinder's in. That's all full up. Just got to finish the pressure relief pipes. Do a bit of lagging. Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah, so this has been on for a couple of hours now. I've been running the radiators at about a third full. So apparently that's the recommended way to do a Magnacleanse because it concentrates on the sludge at the bottom of the radiator. So I'll just show you now with the FLIR thermal imaging camera what I mean by that and what I'm doing. So can you see here from the thermal imaging camera, the FLIR, the heat is concentrated in the lower third of the radiator. Now that's because I've only let the lower third of the radiator fill up with water. And the thinking behind this is that the water flow rate is concentrated just on the worst bits where the sludge is going to sit. I didn't know about this recently until someone pointed it out in one of my YouTube videos, so just goes to show you learn something new every day. So this is just the FLIR, and then what I thought was pretty cool was, and I've sped this up, this is me bleeding the radiator with the FLIR still pointing at the rad, and you can just see there how the heat rises through the columns in this radiator. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's have a quick look at the magnet and see what I've got. There's a little bit on there. Not too much though. Yeah, for a couple of hours. You can tell that the system's pretty clean. So we'll dose this up with inhibitor now and put the heating system back together. So this is the Pipelagger Pro tool that I did a review on a few weeks ago. I'm starting to get a bit better now. I've had a bit of practice with it. Just finishes off nicely and obviously offers great insulation against heat loss. That's the tool there. If you didn't see my review on it, that's the Pipelagger Pro. It takes a little while to get the hang of it, but it's a really great way to make nice neat lagging. So all that's left to do now is just to test the water. So this is a weir gauge. You open your tap, let it point inside the weir gauge, and then it tells you on the side there in litres per minute your flow rate. So you can see here, tap fully open, they're getting about, it's hard to tell, but I'd say about 18 litres a minute there, maybe slightly more. That's pretty good hot water performance, as opposed to the performance of the system before, which was about 7 litres, somewhere between 6 and 8 litres per minute, which isn't great, especially when you're having a shower. So I'm just going to show you the difference between the new Magnacleanse and the old one. The main difference for me is the new one has got a lock on the box, because the old one, every time I picked it up it used to fall apart. Really annoying. But I'll just show you this. So this is my old Magnacleanse unit. Your hoses with the cam locks on, and also the cam locks and the ISO valves, just go straight onto the Magnacleanse like that, and then using your adapter you can fit it onto different kinds of filters, the Worcester Bosch filter, the Magnacleanse, the Pro 2s, the Micros, and then you can get adapters for sort of Spirotech filters. But that's basically the old one, and you've got the two magnets which haven't been cleaned since he last used it. No. Right, so you can see there the hoses, it's really well used this, so you can't see through these hoses anymore, hence why I bought the new one. Now the difference with the new one, so the main difference on the new one is, you'll see here we've not got the cam lock connections, we've got these. Now what that allows you to do is you loosen these off, And you can fit these isolation plates. There's a rubber on there and then a flat face on there. They go straight on like that, and you do them up with the clamps. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. And then same as the old one, you got the magnets in there. So it's pretty much the same, apart from they've changed the way you connect your hoses on. And you can tell there on my new one, the difference between having new hoses and old. When you use this for the first time, or for the first few times, when you put it onto a system that's quite dirty, you'll notice the flow coming into the Magnaclean is black and then coming out is clear. And you can use that to educate your customer, show them what it's doing. And my favourite thing about a Magnacleanse is isolating it halfway through the job or even at the end of the job and showing the customer what the magnet's collected. It's a really, really useful tool to explain what you're doing in their house, on their system. So, I've got a new Magnacleanse. Matt's using my old one. I went to install a show recently in Coventry and I won another Magnacleanse, a brand new one. So I'm going to give it away. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave me a comment why you think you need one, why you want it, or just tell me a joke and I'll pick someone to win. Yep guys, PB, would you rather Wednesday. So, would you rather be driving around all day in this heat, your aircon's broke, or there's something wrong with your van, or you've not got aircon, really stressed, you've been chucking your kit in your van all day because you've been so stressed, it's an absolute bomb site in the back, and then your last job of the day, you want to get home, you want to get the football on, this World Cup, the thing you need is right at the bottom, underneath everything you've chucked on top of it, and you go mental trying to find it, and you just throwing things. Or would you rather go to pop-up waste on a bathroom basin, one of those pedestals where it curves around so you can't get any kit in to work on it, so you've got to take the pedestal out, they've tiled up to and around the pedestal, the basin's glued to the pedestal, the basin's screwed and glued to the wall, so you've got no chance of getting it out without a massive fight. Which one would you rather do?